Alrighty, welcome back to the stream, and welcome back once again to BlockBall programming. You're currently listening to the StreamBeats Lo-Fi playlist for some nice, smooth tunes. So, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to more BlockBall programming. Today's plan is, I've got two options, basically. The two options are thus. First, GameMaker Studio 2 has added, what's the best way to put this? Easy online multiplayer. Like here, I can, restart game, time, following, restart room. Has it maybe not updated for this yet? Hold on, what does it say here? And multiplayer. Oh, it's a beta 2022 600 plus version to use multiplayer. Alright, in that case, that answers that question. So, we're not going to be working on multiplayer in that case. In that case, what we're going to do is we are going to work on implementing an AI system. So, you don't have to play this by yourself. Well, you can play it by yourself. But, if you do decide to play it by yourself, there's actually a game in there for you now. Woo! Alright. So, this is not how I'm going to implement it in the full game. But for now, what I'm going to do is we're going to go to the settings object. I can probably get rid of this one, right? I don't think I'm using this one anymore. so let's go to scripts here, settings, game settings, yeah. So I'm just going to put it in here for the time being because it's the easiest way for me to work around stuff, and I'll be able to adjust things without having to adjust much more of the UI, basically. Let's call that AI on. Int real, let's set that to 0, so it defaults to off. We are. Setting array. This is under what is this? Global setting array. Zero, 03. There we go. That takes care of that. Of course, the nice thing is I set this whole thing up to be completely like, I don't have to do anything now. That should actually populate in there without me having to have done anything. Right there. Look at that. It's right there already. I didn't set up a part where I can click on it, but... Oops, I defaulted. Right. Oh, actually, setting it to... Oh, did I click default? I think I did. Yeah, I definitely did. So let's first set this back to 720 by 1280. There we go. A little bit better to look at. Okay, so it's not working. I probably should have moved that into advanced options, come to think of it. Nah, it's fine. I'd need to set advanced options on to get it working, so... Oh, it's right there. Haha, I have that setting in the game already, because I'm very smart. Actually, no, because I want people to be able to turn this on and off. It's not like a might break the game kind of setting, ideally. It's going to be something that you'll be able to turn on and off. Ideally, it's not going to be a setting, period. It'll be something you go, okay, I'm going to play one player or multiplayer. And if you play one player, it'll automatically load in the AI for player 2. But I don't have that time or desire to really fix that up at this second. So for now, it's just going to be a setting. So I don't actually need to do this. What I do need to do, though, is figure out why it's not working when I click on it. Let's go to the step event. So that's, if it's current setting, that's that, else. Oh, you know what it probably is? I think I didn't set up a, which one of these is it? Yeah, I didn't set up an array for this one, that's why. Okay, so all I gotta do in that case is... let's see, setting... max score, min score, score subtract... Right. I'm glad I wrote this here so it's easier to parse. Thank you, me. What was that weird blip of sound just now? That was bizarre. So let's see. Region. Into AI on off. Two? Actually, don't remember offhand. That's 2-3. Okay, so setting. So the number is... I guess this would actually be setting 7? So setting 700 is page settings on, which is 0 page because it's part of the game settings. 0, 1, 2, 3. And this is going to be 0, I believe, because it's the starter value. Yeah, it just starts it off. Let's see here. There we go. That should do it. There we are. Maybe I should make save and exit the top one instead. That might be a better idea. I'm just gonna really quickly. There we go. Now, is it gonna do the thing I need, or is it gonna? It should do the thing I need. Okay, yeah, I just gotta swap these two and that'll do it. All right. So now we have global AI on. Global setting array. 0. 1, 3. Is that right? Let's see. 0. Now we've got max score, min score, so it's trying to get 0, 1, 3. Yep, that looks right. It's not syncing up. I gotta fix that. I also need to fix it so it's properly displaying, because it's not doing that. So that would be under draw GUI. Oh, I know why. Whoops. I know why. Because when I went here, I just swapped these numbers, but I swapped the positions, but I didn't actually swap the numbers. That's why. There we go. Yeah, there it is. All right, now why isn't it syncing up? Okay, so which is the sync code? Is it this? Yeah, it is. So it says it's 0. Now it's 0. So these are correct. I'm gonna set it to 0. That's correct. But if I change it... What? Why is it 1 now? Huh? Something's not getting written properly here. Scar solid sound specs, Windows type resolution. Switch slot I name. Oh, this is draw. This is draw event, not what I'm looking at. Okay, so this is the 4th position, so it should be number 3 on that. Yeah, okay. So page 0, position 4, which is number 3 on this. Starter value is 02, which is fine. And then... yeah, it should be fine. Oh, that's stupid. Okay, right. Right. Forgot this part. One, 3. Global AI on. There we go. There we are. Now that should do it. Now it should work properly. Okay, I'm going to set 1. That 1. I'm going to set to 0. I'm going to set to 1, then exit. Set it to 1. I set it to 0 and exit. There we go. Easy. Good stuff. So just gonna do something real quick. I can't edit the title of the VOD. Oh, well, that's fine. I'll do it later. All right. Good. Everything seems to be working fine. So, now that we've taken care of this bit... Right, so AI has now been added to the settings. That was the easy part, which took me 30 minutes, roughly. So, here's how I was getting the AI set up. Very simple AI. Like, the absolute simplest possible AI, I think, for a game like this. Would be very simply, if the ball's coming in at like this angle, let's say, all the AI does is the AI says, okay, my current X or Y value, this is the Y value of the ball, this is the Y value of the center of the paddle, they don't match, move in the direction until they match. And that's all it would do. It would basically just chase the ball around like that. Very simple, easy to do. I could do it right now in about 5 minutes, probably. The other part of it is I need to figure out the correct method to implement the controls, because the easiest way to do it would be to implement it inside the paddle object itself. So the paddle object would just go, okay, is global AI on? If it's player 2, then do that. Otherwise, do that. But what I want to do is I want to put it through the control object. So what I want to do here is I'm probably going to need to create a script that runs AI stuff. And it'll run through this. And I want to put it in through here to apply things properly to whichever player we're looking at. So I'll need to... This is something I'm going to have to almost certainly rewrite to get this to work properly. Because this was very much like it kind of works fine, but it's not perfectly set up. Anyway, that's something to touch in a minute. But let me explain my AI thought process here. So, like I said, very simple AI would be just one that does a comparative X value thing and then chases the ball. So, I was thinking, like, what about if I did something a little bit more intricate? What about if I created sort of an AI skill profile? And here's what I came up with. So, there's 2 axes that it could be along. It could be along one axis, which is reaction time. Basically, you know, how fast does it react to whatever is coming in? If the ball's coming in at Mach 2, is it fast enough to be able to see what's going on and then hit it back? Along the other axis, we have prediction. The ability for the ball to track, or the paddle or the AI to track, okay, this is where the ball is going to be in however long, and it'll put itself in the correct position so it doesn't need to move all the way across the map. At 100% prediction and 0% reaction, the AI will be able to tell, okay, the ball is going to go here, 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 and wind up at this spot. But the paddle might be already here, and due to low reaction, it won't actually hit that. In comparison, the reaction one is the closer to the chase the ball one. It doesn't know where the ball is going to be, you know, in a second. it might be able to tell, like, the ball's going to be here in a second from now. So it'll always be moving to intercept at that point. Now, of course, if you had an AI that was both of those things maxed out, it would, as soon as the ball starts coming off of your paddle here, it would know exactly where it's going to be and move itself into that position immediately. Not instantaneously, because it still has travel time. But that's no fun to play. That's like an impossible to beat AI. So, I'm thinking this is going to be on a sort of setup like this. It'd be, if it was on a 4-quadrant setup like this, it'd be a circle kind of thing. But it'll be an arc like this. So you'll never have an AI that is 100% predictive or 100% reactive. It'll always be some combination of the two. But it'll have a very wide range of things it could be. It could be, you know, very reactive, which means it knows, let's say the ball is here, it knows it's going to be there, instead of only being able to see, like, the ball right here. Or it'll be very predictive, so it'll do this, and it'll know this part, and it'll go, like, maybe halfway across the lane, but it'll only update, let's say, once every second. That's what the reaction time's going to be. And if I want to actually decrease the difficulty of the AI, I could even just decrease like this. Like, if I just set the max here to be 1, this is 100, let's say, right? 100 is full reaction, full prediction potential. If I just set it to, like, easy AI, which would be 50%, then the AI at cap doesn't have enough reaction or prediction to be able to do all these things. So this is, I think, a good way to go about it. Sorry if I'm not explaining it particularly well. That might come out better in the coding itself. Now, as for what reaction is pretty simple. Reaction is just going to be the amount of, like, basically the refresh time on its predictive stuff. With a 100% reaction time, there is no downtime. It's always active. It is just constantly 100% of the time on. That might be like, mathematically, how would I define that? Maybe like, percentage of frames every second. So like a low reactive person, or a low reactive AI would hit like once every second. It would activate. But a high reactive would do it like once every frame, or something like that. In comparison, prediction is a little bit hard to do, and here's what I thought of. So when you got the ball bouncing around, right? You have it bouncing off walls like this, and this, and this, and this, and this, across the full length of the playing field. So what about if I had it so it only bounced like this, this, and then after a certain point, it would look like this. So a low reactive or a low predictive AI, for example, would only be able to see the ball at like this point or this point. Like a 50% reactive AI maybe could see it right here. And then the full predictive AI would be able to trace the entire path all the way back. Harder to do, but not impossible, because I can effectively run calculations with a script that'll just run all this stuff depending on, you know, how often it's happening. And I can have it just go, okay, so percentage of the field is this much. So this is, let's say, 50% of the entire area. And it'll be able to go, okay, so it's very... So 50% of the area is like this far, so it'll only be able to predict up to this distance in terms of what's going on. That's basically the idea I'm going with on this. So that's the basic concept of how the AI is going to work. But I realize now I do have a little bit of... Okay, you know what? Let's do this first. Let's just make a script. So, script. We're going to make this... So function, what should I call this? And we're going to call this, okay, so we're going to have two variables going in. We're going to call them react and pred. And what do we call this? We're going to call this, let's call it AI profile. Well, that's not even quite right, is it? So AI move. Okay, so the problem is here, I'd also want to use a timer, but I don't really know how to use a script-based timer. Or an alarm, I should say. Oh, that's right. I'm actually going to have to do stuff with delta time now. Ugh. Forgot about that bit. Okay, you know what? Let's just do the basic part first, right? Okay, so first thing we're going to have is prediction is going to be the percentage. You know what? Let's do this one. Function AI Now you can stop giving me an error. It's a function, not a variable. What are you talking about? Okay, so when you have an AI profile, it's going to generate, let's see, rand. Let's see, random range between 0, 1. Because I do want, I do want decimals in here. If I want to do difficulty, that can just be a modifier on the overall numbers, so that's not a problem, actually. So it's let's see, name is gonna be random. What does random do? I suppose you know what I could do here? So I could get, for I, 0, I, then 10, I plus equal 1. Oh, that's a good way to do it. So it's cur, I random range. can never remember how to concatenate properly. Ord A, Ord Z. Okay, let me just double check I've got all these things. Okay, where's the... Gotta go to the manual for this. So let's go to ord. String. Yeah. Gets the Unicode value for that. So I got an unrandom range. What's cur? Return to string from the Unicode value. Excellent. Now, how do you concatenate? How to combine strings? Okay. That is correct. Good. I just need to make sure this was correct. So it'll create a string of 9 random letters from A to, is it, hold on. What is the Unicode? I don't need a converter. I just need the list. Unicode character table. I just need to find what A through lowercase z is. There may be some numbers. Throw those into those too. Why not make it a password generator while I'm at it? Let's see. 1, 0. I guess it'd be from exclamation mark. So it's capital A to lowercase z. And that includes like some random letters. Or it includes like brackets and backslash for some reason. Okay, maybe I'll just stick with why are these in here? Why are those in here at all? That doesn't make sense. Okay, you know what? I'll just do this. That's fine. Just capital letters is fine. Okay. Just that's fine. All right, so we're gonna do a var React var predictive. There we go. It's not a variable, it's a function. I don't know why it's doing this. Anyway, so that will generate... Alright, so that's going to generate the random range for the reaction and the prediction, and it's also going to give me a name which I can use to assign to these things. So... I guess I'm going to export these as an array to make it easier. So we are going to do what? We're going to generate... Let's see here. Let's make a new array here. We're going to make it... Return... return profile. So, profile 0 is going to be name. Profile 1 is going to be React. Profile 2 is going to be PR. But we're not done here quite yet. Because I've also got to make sure that these numbers are good to go. So we are going to put in, let's say, okay, so let's say both those are 0.5. That means it's going to be a arrow pointing pretty much directly at a 45-degree angle, which is also going to be too short. Five. Okay, so how do I do this? Okay, so how do I normalize this? How do we normalize a vector again? Vector is just the absolute value of that. Okay, so we'll just divide it by its own thing then, I guess. Okay, so would it just be, Would that work if it's 0.5? Hold on a second here. Yeah, I guess it would, because then it'd be a multiplier to increase the size. Right. Okay, so let's say you got a vector that's 0.5, 0.5. So 0.5. Right, because both those will be 0.25. Then you divide that by 0.5, gets you 1. So then, yeah, that one works. Okay, so if it's, let's say, 0.25 by... Let's say if it's 0.25, so it'd be 0.25 and, let's say, 0.7? So 1.115. Okay, so 0.25 and 0.7, and then 1.115. So 1.25 divided by 1.115. How do I square on this calculator? Squared plus 7 Okay, let's try this again. So, we've got square root of 0.25 divided by 1.15 squared plus 1. Squared 5525. Oh wait, did I do the math wrong? I might have done the math wrong. Okay, so hold on. Square root 0.25 squared plus 0.7 squared is 0.7. Oh, I did do the math wrong. Whoops. That explains it. That's not right. Okay, hold on a second. I'm just gonna open up Excel and do the math in there, because that way I can fuck around with the equations easier. Okay, Excel. So let's see. React, predict. So we're gonna go 0.5, 0.5 equals square root of that squared plus that squared Okay, so we do that, and then we go this, that, goes this, over that. Okay, 2.7. That works better. Okay, so I was doing the math wrong for whatever reason on the calculator, so now just doing it in Excel, it works perfectly. Okay, fine, whatever. So it's those two. So this is basically the resulting length of the two randomly generated things. So we have React number, PR number. That looks good. So 0, 1, 2 return profile. So now we have an AI profile which has been created. AI can now exist, as it were. It's been created. So now we do the hard part. I say after spending another probably 20 minutes working out basic trigonometry. Rather double check my trigonometry, because for some reason I wasn't getting the numbers right. I have to prove to myself it works before I do anything. All right, so reaction is basically going to be a timing thing, and prediction is going to be a distance thing. So, if okay, you know what? I'm gonna grab. So if the ball variable, the closest one. All right. So if ball dot how do I do this? got horizontal speed. What is this? I guess that would be the thing, though. What is horizontal speed supposed to be? You know what, let's do this. Let's cheat a little bit. Live preview. H speed. Okay, so the easy way would be if ball H speed is greater than 0 or whatever, because then that means it's moving to the right. But how do I do this so it works if I have AI on the left side too? How would I do this? The AI is on the left side. How would I do this? I'd have to get it so it's going, like, in my direction, effectively. How would I determine it's going in, quote, my direction? I suppose the easy way to do it would be if ball last hit was not me. So it would be like ball... Was it last hit 1, I think? I think last hit 1, right? Yeah, last hit 1. Oh, because this is player number. Oh. Oh. How would I do this? How do you do this? Alright, I gotta think about this for a moment. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some water too, because it's getting warm in my room and I wanna walk around a wee bit while I get something cold in me. How would I do this though? I'm still thinking about this. Like, unless... Let's see here. see, let's try looking at these. ID, visible, persistent, layer, alarm. Direction. That might be it. That might be it. That might be it. So direction is given as a degree. 0 is right, 90 is up, 180 is left, 270 is down. So what I could do is I can do this. I can instance create layer. Why not? Let's see. Instance create layer rooms. I guess game. And variable object is going to be obj empty. Alright. So what that's going to do, that'll create, let's call this var dire. Go. So I'm just going to double check that's the syntax for with. Yeah, so it should be that. So with dire and set dire dot speed is equal to 1. Dire dot direction is equal to, and this is going to be a point direction. Okay, this is nano. Direction equals point direction, x, y, other x, other y. Okay, yeah. Figures. All right. Huh. Okay, so it occurs to me, one problem is that I don't have the ability to, like, take the information of whichever thing created this and put it in here again. Because I'm basically just using that to pull out the direction. Oh, what am I doing? I don't even need to do this. What am I doing? I don't even need to do this. What am I doing? If ball dot direction. Okay. So I don't need to do this at all. So we're going to var dire again. Might as well use it. Point direction between ball.x, ball.y, self.x, x, self.y. Okay. How do I do... This is a tricky one, because I gotta figure out how to do this. So basically, all I need to do is I get the point direction between the ball and the paddle, or the AI, or whoever's running this. And then they go, if the ball direction is in the same 180 degrees as my direction, I have to activate. Otherwise, ignore it. But how do I do that exactly? I also don't remember how these numbers are given to me. Are they given to me as... They're given to me as degrees, so I think they're given to me as full numbers, right? I think it outputs as a number like this. So direction plus 90 and direction minus 90 should cover it. Alright, so if it's greater than 90 under... Oh, it should actually be and. And it's less than or equal to plus 90. Yeah, if it's in that range, then we run everything else. Otherwise, just skip it. Don't need to care. Okay. Right. And that'll only work for the nearest ball, so I guess it'll only track if there's, if there's one going away and one coming towards it, it'll only track the one going further away until they cross. It's not ideal, all things considered, but, you know, how... Gotta deal with it, right? You know, I could actually go through every single one of those. If there's multiple balls. You know what? Let's do that. Is there a thing to count number of objects? Or number of instances? Yes, instance number object. But how do I react if there's two coming towards me? Okay, actually, you know what? Okay. So, instance object, total number objects they're instances of. For variable I equals 0, I is less than, normally it's going to be 1. It'll run it once and then it'll stop. That works. So, do that. Our ball is equal to the ball object. And then, our direction. And then if said ball is within that direction, then we break out of the loop. So basically, what it'll do is, if there's only one ball, it basically just doesn't matter. If there's two balls, it'll go through both the balls, starting with the nearest one. If it's pointed at the paddle and it's heading in that direction, it'll break. Like, it'll just break the loop, and that ball will be the focus from that point on. Okay, I did all that nonsense. Now, what do we do about the rest of this? I haven't even started the actual math part of this. The actual math part of this whole thing hasn't even been, like, worked on yet. Okay, so I think, okay. So we do this, right? We've got the ball determined. We found the ball that's coming at me. So, now what do? I guess the best way to do this first would be... Okay, so we're gonna get the predictive length first. The predictive length is going to be room width. Room width? Is that what I want to go with? Do I want to go with room width here? Distance to the ball. Do I want to go with room width or distance to the ball? Because, okay, if I go room width, it's really easy to work with, unless I do a weird-shaped room, in which case it doesn't really do it anymore. But if I do distance to the ball, it means that it falls off as time goes on, which is not ideal. Okay, maybe... Let's go with room width. Let's go with room width. If something changes, I can change that around. Okay, so we got that. Then... Alright, so that's the predictive length. It only is... Let's say it only does like 50% or 70% of whatever... You know, whatever this is. Actually, you know what? It should be diff first. There. So now, the difficulty modifier has been applied. Which means it gets thrown in there before we do anything. Reactive length gets removed, or gets reduced. Reaction time gets reduced. That whole thing. Alright, so let's do the math for this. Because the hard part is gonna... the thing I need to look up is how to create a delta time-based reaction speed. And by that, how do I create a delta time-based alarm? Because the thing I was watching, when I created the delta time function, I was looking at a video that told me how to do it, but... That it also mentioned, the same tutorial also mentioned something about making custom alarms, and I did not remember to watch that all the way through. So I've got to, I think I found it actually. Yeah, I think I found it. Okay, well that's easy. I'll find this. I'll watch this later to figure out how to do the alarms. Anyway, the alarm is going to be the reaction time, which is going to be how I'm going to deal with that part. So it's going to have like a set reaction time of like once per second, and or once every frame, and then it'll multiply out from there based on, you know, reaction time values, whatever. We'll figure that out. Anyway, so. Let's do that for the time being, just so I have the format ready to go. So what this will do, what happens here now, effectively, wait a minute, that's only going to increment on... It's basically I'm going to look at the same ball multiple times. That's not going to work. How do I... Ah. Oh, that's even easier. Turns out there's actually a function exactly for this. Var ball is equal to instance find. So instead of doing this, object ball I. So that'll loop through all the instances. Now, of course, that doesn't start with the closest one, but had to make concessions. Yeah, I guess that'll just have to be it. So break, and then else. Basically, I'm just doing this to run a check to make sure it doesn't do all this other work if there's no ball coming towards it. Like, what it'll do is it'll go through, it'll go, okay, what's the closest? Okay, so for I, it'll go through, you know, however many balls. If there's 1, it only goes through once. If there's 10, it'll go through 10 times. It'll go, okay, var ball, instance find, that instance of it. Direction, point direction is pointing at the paddle. No. If it is, break, skips right to the end, we have a ball. If it's no, ball goes to -1. Reset. New ball gets instanced in. Find it. Is it pointing at the paddle? Yes. Break. Go to the rest of it. No. -1. If there is nothing pointing at the paddle, ball will be -1. You skip it. Just skip it. Don't do any of this. Pass go. Just go straight to jail. Away with you, AI. I won't need to deal with any of this. But if there is a ball pointing at it, one of them, doesn't have to be the closest one, just one of them pointing at it. It will attempt to deal with that. So, let's see here. Ball for var. Ball direction. Okay, so if the ball has done that, for var I length. Okay, so what this will do basically is it's going to. Should I do it this? No, I should probably do it more like a, let's do 5. 5 is probably too small. Let's do 10. It's basically going to jump forward 10 pixels every single time. So, for var I is 0, I is less than length, I is plus equal to 10. Yes. So it'll be some percentage of the room's width. So it'll go up to that. So it'll go like, how do I do this? Okay, I guess it would be a ball. X ball.y ball direction is the speed built-in variable what I want here? What is speed? All instances of GameMaker are certain built-in properties. Speed has no direction associated with it. It's governed by the direction value of the instance, but can have a negative value. I could just do X with H speed and Y and V speed instead. This would be easier, probably. I'm just trying to figure out if it's best to do the direction and speed thing or not. I think it is. I think it is better. It's not going to be as easy, but it is going to be better. Okay, so we're gonna get this. Do I have it? Okay, so if the ball is, if we got a ball, see, for I is less than the length, and the length is going to increase by 10. So we're going to go up, and it's just going to keep going up by like 10 or whatever. I could bump this up even further if I wanted, but let's stick with this for the moment. So if we do this, what would it do? So it's gonna move 10. It's gonna move 10 pix. It's gonna move 10 pixels basically. God, it's warm out. It's gonna basically move 10 pixels, and I need to figure out where it is Y and X Y's. This is why doing H speed and V speed would have been easier, because then I could have just directly compared, like, okay, this is how far you move, that's your location. Okay, so Oh, another thing I should probably do. Just so it doesn't do something weird. Or no, I want point distance. Distance between self.x, self.y, ball.x, ball.y. There. Basically, that's just going to get the distance between the length. It's going to get the distance between the ball and the paddle. And the reason I'm doing that is because if len is greater than dist, basically, that's it. If the length is greater than the distance, which means the predictive length is larger than the actual distance between the ball and the paddle, the length is going to get shortened to become the distance between the ball and the paddle. So it'll be able to, deal with that. Still not 100% perfect, technically speaking, but it's better. It's much better than the alternative. This does leave room for potential error if it's at a weird angle. For example, well... No, because it should cover it by that point, so I don't think it'll be an issue. It might cause issues if the paddle and ball are, like, if the ball's going very vertically at any given time. But if it's doing that, then the paddle will, like, have a much greater chance of actually contacting it and bouncing it back. So it's fine, I think. Alright, now that that's taken care of, we got the actual hard part to do. Again, for the third time, I think I've said that. Okay, so we've got... Also, I'm just gonna really quickly see what changes I got here from it. These D&D things are never anything. Like, these are literally nothing. Oops. On stage all. Like, the only difference between these things is, if I look at the... If I double-click on it, it brings up this little thing. It changes, like, part of the header. And that's it. It's like, it's literally nothing. I never have to worry about throwing these on here, because I think all it does is, like, change their positions or locations in this thing or whatever. Stage selected. Okay, so... This, I just moved it, so I can stage that one too. Settings, the to-do list. I don't commit anything yet. In fact, I should probably uncommit all those. Unstage all those. Because I might still be changing things, but you never know. Probably not, honestly. Alright. Alright, so. Right, now the actual hard part. So, for variable I is I is less than length, I plus equal 10. So basically it'll increment up 10 pixels every time I do this. It'll go, how do I do this? How do I do this? I gotta... collision point I want to use? Yes, collision point checks the point specified by the argument x1, y1 for a collision with any instance of the object specified by the argument object. Let's do x, y, wall. There. Okay. So, how do I do this? So basically, it's going to take the point, and it'll take the direction and speed, and then extrapolate the x and y coordinates from that value. It's 0, 90, 180, 270. So what I would do is I would do, God, I don't know. Hold on a second. I'll be right back and think about this. Okay, so I can have angles. I have the angle, the direction. I need to get. I have the direction. I have the speed. I need to translate that into an x and y coordinate based on a previous location. So what about all x and y. Plus some kind of factor that keeps increasing. Yeah, that's good. So do this one. I need this anyway, so. Okay, so how do I calculate this? How do I actually calculate this? I imagine there's probably a much easier way to do this, but let's just do it this way. I'm kind of wondering if maybe pathfinding would solve all my problems, because I know there's a pathfinding algorithm in here, but it's fine. Also, I had another epiphany just now. If I go to reaction, if I just do this, if I just do let's say react is a timer. So if it's reaction is 0, it'll be undefined. Let's say 1 divided by react, which is never going to happen, I don't think. Just to be on the safe side. How do I do this? Alarm, 2 delta time. How to create a timer using delta time. There's no good way to do it in script, it looks like. You know, I'm just gonna do this for the time being. Just gonna pop that right out. Still got this part to do, which is the hard one. I'm not even going to be able to like pop the AI in, because even once I've dealt with the scripting here, I need to actually get it to like export a command into the control out, which I really should have done first, come to think of it. That really is what I should have done immediately. Well, it's not like it's hard. I can just make like a test AI script and just go like, okay, this is what you export out. And just fix control next time. Oh god, how do I do this? Okay, so how do I do this? Basically, ball X, ball Y, XX and YY need to increment up based on the direction and the speed of the thing. So, why don't I just use? Why am I not? Yeah, I'm just. Fine, I'll do it. I'll do it. Fine, God. These should be in here anyway. Like, given that these things are functioning based on a ball that may not even exist, they should be within this if statement. Like they have to be in here first. There, problem solved. Okay, so now that we determined the ball exists, distance is the point distance. If the length is greater than the distance, length gets reduced. Okay, we ball direction, ball speed, ball X, ball Y. There we go. All right. XX is plus equal its speed. I'm going to make another variable here, actually. Variable resolution equal to 10 plus equal to res. So now I'll be able to just fix this number and it'll automatically propagate that. If it's within a wall... whoops. Okay, so if it's within a wall, what's it going to do? The direction has to flip-flop. Actually, what it has to do is let's go... vispid equal to vispid times -1. So it'll just flip over, basically. And finally, return XX. I'm just going to put that there. It doesn't really matter. Because what's going to happen is this has to be in here, because it can't return something that doesn't exist, which means it only exists if the ball is running. And it'll return XX and YY, or rather, it'll return YY, because that's the only really relevant bit of information here. XX is basically just to calculate things. Okay. There we go. That, I think that theoretically should get it going. So let's run through it real quick just to make sure it's working properly. And eventually, ideally, I'd like to have direction and speed replace XX and YY here and extrapolate the values out from there. But since I have them, I might as well use them at the moment. I don't need anything that isn't this right now. The variables are in there. I can pull them out later. Back to get myself clean stuff. We'll just do that. What is this? Clean. Okay. So, you put in AI move. You got the reaction, the prediction, and the difficulty level multiplier. Reaction and prediction are going to be pulled from the AI profile. Difficulty multiplier is set by, I guess, probably game settings. For variable I is 0, I is less than the number of instances of objects of ball, I plus equal 1. It'll find a ball, just incrementing up. It'll find one of the balls. It'll go point direction of the ball to the paddle, and then it'll go. Yes, you want to go ball to paddle because you want to compare that to the direction the ball is facing, or pointed in, I should say. So if the ball direction is within the same 180-degree arc that the direction of the ball to the paddle is, which means basically it is going towards the paddle, it'll break the loop and will keep the ball. Otherwise, the ball gets set to -1. So ball value will be carried throughout here. We're not going to bother with -1. Prediction. Predictive is going to be modified by the difficulty modifier. That'll just be a, like, 0.5, 0.2, 0.7, 0.1, maybe even a 2 times. I'm feeling fancy. I feel like that's probably a bad one to implement, though, because that's, like... That would just make it impossible, I think. Like, the only reason this is theoretically doable is because the AI isn't fast enough to do everything. But if I set it up to 2, it would actually be impossible to beat. Maybe in multi-ball. Maybe if there's a multi-ball thing going on, it can do that. But, like, by itself, a single ball, it would not be possible to kill that, to beat that thing, I don't think. Alright, so. Very length, room width times prediction. Yeah, so that is basically just like the distance across the room the AI is able to see and map out. In the instance that it's shorter, or yeah, so that's that. So like if it was multiplied to full prediction would be 100% of the room. It would be able to predict as soon as the ball turns around and starts coming the other way, it would know exactly where it's going to land. But since most of them aren't going to be that, it'll know like 70, 50, 20% of the way across the room. It'll be able to accurately predict. And apart from that, it'll have to guess. With the multiplier, it would decrease that again to like halfway across the room at most. So when it hits the halfway point, it would be able to go, okay, this is exactly where it's going to be. But, you know, not necessarily true. All right, anyway. If ball is not -1, yeah, whatever. Variable distance is point distance to the ball from the paddle. Not really that relevant. Basically, it's just there so that the paddle and the AI does not start detecting... It shouldn't be self, should it? Because I'm not running this on the paddles, I'm running this on the... I'll keep it self for the moment, but this is actually going to have to include the ID for the instance running the AI, or the ID of the instance that is being done with this, because it's not self. It should be that particular instance. So, let's call this, React Predict, AI... Let's call it, let's call it AI. Okay, I can't do that. Let's call it, yeah, AI inst. Or, actually, no, I'm gonna call it inst AI. Just in the off chance I write a script that happens to use that name and it breaks everything. Which it might. You never know. Anyway, so inst AI does that. Any other self? No. Okay, we're good, we're good. Okay, so we're here. Okay, so it gets the point distance from the instance AI, or the AI that's using the instance, to the ball. If the projective length is longer than the distance to the ball, it'll decrease to become the distance to the ball. That'll be a problem only in the case of a very vertical moving ball. Like if it's almost going like, if it's going like 89 degrees or almost 90, then it'll give very bad information because the distance will be much longer than it is to the actual scoring zone. But still workable. Also, technically speaking, this doesn't have to be room width. This actually, room width isn't correct. It would be... Length would be... we're going to keep it room width for the time being, I guess. But realistically, it should be the distance of the play area, which is not the room width, it's the distance between the paddles. And also, like, if I did a vertical one, room width doesn't become relevant anymore. Because the room's very thin as opposed to the length. So it really should be, like, point distance between instance AI and instance whatever, but I can't do that. Or rather, I could do that, but I can't really, like, set that up without having some kind of way to do it. To be able to tell what room it's in or what it looks like, so we'll leave that for the time being. God, it's 92 degrees out. Thank God for air conditioning. My house is only about 83. I've been turning the air conditioner up recently, so I can sort of get reacclimated to temperatures that aren't cold, which is one, it saves a bit of money. Two, going outside even when it's a nice day. Like, it turns out it's actually, like, really hard to, like, go back outside after being stuck inside at a really nice 75 degrees all the time, so... Alright, anyway. What do we got here? So, length, that's there, good. These two are just taken out for the moment. Got ball X, ball Y, horizontal, vertical speed, resolution variable. This may need to be delted. I'm not actually sure. I don't think it will need to be delta, because the delta is going to go on the reaction time, if anything. It should go on the reaction time. Like, it would probably be like... del that. Like, that would be it, basically, but... I don't know. That's something I gotta figure out. Because I can't run it. Could I? Okay, so here's the other problem. If there's more than one AI, I actually can't run that properly. What I could do is I could run... I don't know. I'd have to think about this one, because I don't know how I'd properly get these things to increment up. One thing I could do is I could just have the timer on an empty object. I could just create an empty object and use that as a timer, and then like just have it run, and then when it deletes itself, the timer goes off. That's actually something I could do, and it could work. But I'd have to be able to tie it to this specific AI somehow, which is going to be tricky to do. Honestly, like, creating this thing is incredibly useful. The empty object is a very powerful object. Just having something you can just spawn without it mattering for anything is really useful. Anyway. Going back through. Okay, so speed, good. Resist resolution. Okay, so for variable I is less than, let's say, the room width, it'll increase by 10. And it'll keep looping through that. And it'll go, okay. It'll go, okay, so X is equal to the horizontal speed times the resolution. Is that what I want? Is that what I want? Is that right? Do I want to do 10? Or do I want to do... See, this is the part I'm not sure about. I don't know if my math is correct here. You know what I actually need? I need a way to express... Would it be radian? No, because circles have like 3 radians, right? Hold on. Pi radians in a circle. Right. Right. So that's actually not how I want to do that. Radians would not be useful. I don't know, there's a lot of math going on here that I need to work out before I can properly do this. Let's see here. Okay, so let's say I is 0 to start. It's right at the very left edge of the screen. It moves 10 pixels to the right. X, which is the ball's X position, is going to move probably 100 pixels to the right if it's going straight right. There's no vertical movement. It's going to go like straight right, 100 pixels. Which means that's not correct. So what I need to do, I need to get the time spent. You know what I could do? Instead of doing res, there you go, so now it's locked. It's going to be going the same direction regardless. It's going to move one H speed each time until it hits the predictive length. Now, how would I do the vertical speed? Because that's the tricky one. I need to figure out the vertical position. I guess I don't need to. I can just do this and it does it. Oh, no, I know I can do. This is still correct. This is basically just going to be horizontal position. That is pretty much correct. So what if I do this times res? So now it's going to move effectively 10 times in any direction. Or I can set it down to move 5 times. So it's moving 5 frames at a time in any given direction. I think that's probably a good one. Yeah, so res is 5, which means starting at the left, it is going to move 1 speed unit to the right. If res is 1, it's going to move 1 speed unit to the right and 1 speed unit down, let's say. It's moving down diagonally. It's moving down to the right. So it's going to do that. But if I set it to 5, it's going to actually move 5 instances to the right and down. And if it's collision point inside a wall, what is the speed on the ball? Come to think of it. Oh, you know what I should probably do as well? So let's do this as well. Our top. No. Alright, and then we clamp based on that. Clamp. Clamp value and max. we go. No, you know what? I'm gonna... Top B. I'm gonna do something funky here. Top B, top T, block T, block B. This will be all right. So here's what we're gonna do, right? We are going to clamp twice. The first clamp is going to make sure it doesn't leave the area. So this one's going to be top, top, and bottom. Top, bottom, and top. So this one is going to make sure that the clamp never leaves the actual room area that I want. Once it's done that, it's going to check the collision point, and if it determines that, it's going to, if it determines it's inside the thing, it's going to then shrink it inside the wall's barriers themselves. So that way, I don't have to worry about it, for example, skipping out of the map and going too far. Basically. And this actually gives me a lot more room to work with. So if I want to do like... If I want to do 10 now, it's probably safe. Because while that is a large amount, I don't think... Well, no, okay, so it's not 100% safe. Because instead of like... Instead of... Okay. If I did like 100, right? Okay, let's do this. Okay, so here's the wall. Here's the ball coming in. It's going this way. If I do 5, then it might like go here, it might go here, it might go here. But the problem happens if it goes down here. If it goes down here, then there's no collision, which means it never switches direction to go back up, which means that it'll just keep going that way. Forever and ever, and we'll never see it again. But now that I've clamped it, this is always going to be inside the wall. It'll always be in there, which means it'll always get a collision, which means it'll always change the velocity back up. But if I changed the resolution so that it was like, let's say it's here and then it's down here, what it should be doing, it should have gone like this and then bounced up like this. But the clamp instead will just move it directly to here, and then it'll start going from there, which is a very different trajectory than what it should be. So while it's not 100% safe, this does also give the AI a little bit of wiggle room, so it's not 100% perfect prediction. It will know, like, more or less where it is, which is enough because the paddle has some wiggle room. So it's not going to be perfect. Nobody is. But that's the important thing here. But if I have a resolution too high, it'll be completely wrong. So what I need to do is I need to... Like, the best idea would be to do resolution as fine as possible, so as soon as it hits a point, it goes back in regular bouncing. But I think 10 is probably good. 10 is probably fine. That's 10 frames. That's a sixth of a second. It's a lot. Don't get me wrong. That is a lot. But it's not awful. I think that should probably be a delta value. Yeah, that should be a delta value because the speed is going to be a delta value. Or rather, it's going to be a modified by delta value, and then this thing is going to be a multiplier on top of it, but... Like, if I do 10 of these for 60 frames per second, that's not much. That's, you know, it's a sixth. For 30 frames per second, that is a third, which is a lot. For 120 seconds, it's nothing. So delta time, I think, got to be on there. It would make the 30 frames per second one much more coarse for no reason apart from it being 30 frames per second. All right, so we do that, and then... Yep, okay. Clamps. It clamps it inside the range. If it's colliding with a wall, vertical speed changes. Clamp it inside the walls. And then you return YY. So what would happen is under the control object, I would then run this, get the YY return value, plug it into the AI, plug it into whatever's controlling the control object for the AI control paddle, and it would like determine like, okay, I got to move it to this position. And then that reoccurs based on a timing based on the reaction time, which is going to be a whole other bundle of fun to figure out how to do that. But for the time being, I think that's a good start. So part one of the AI is now implemented. Well, not implemented, it's present. So what do I have to do? So let's see, to-do list. AI, player 2. Okay, prediction. Determining the spot where the ball will be at the end. Reaction. Determine... Okay. How frequently the AI runs the prediction script. I guess, technically speaking, prediction is the first one to use because everything else is going to sort of be worked on based on that. Control... Add AI control ability to the control object. Okay, is that everything I need to do with this? Prediction, determining the spot where the ball will be at the end. Reaction, yes. And then add a suite of AI profiles. Name is present in the AI as is. Just need to store them. So basically, the idea is once I have everything set, I'll be able to just like create, you know, however many profiles. I can go like, this is Franklin. He has very high reaction speed, but also very low prediction rate. Or this is Sarah. She has very fast reactions, but low prediction rate. Or this is Sir Francois III. He's very high in both. And I can just have like different names attached to these different AI that have just like different, you know, different AI properties. And it'll all work off the same script. They'll just have slightly different values based on, you know, whatever else is going on there. I think it'll work. I just need to, you know, get it implemented properly. So for the time being, prediction is, let's say that one's set for the time being. That'll have to be modified and adjusted as time goes on, but for right now, that's there. Add AI controllability. Yeah, script is all good. Is it actually raining out? Huh. Doesn't seem like it is. It might be a very light rain. I think it's supposed to be scattered showers today. Okay, so we're gonna leave that for the time being and see how that goes. Alright, anyway. Next time is gonna be working on the reaction timing. I'm gonna look at this video on how to do timers. I'll try and figure out a good way to do this. Like, the best way to do it might honestly be create the object. I don't know if I would create an empty object for that. Would I create an empty object, or would I do, like... I guess that is the best way to do it, because it needs to exist outside of whatever is calling the script. So what it would do is, I guess, on game start in the room, it would spawn an empty object that would literally just be the timer for whatever it is I'm calling in. So it would be something like, maybe something like, instance create... 0, 0, 0. Layer ID master, I guess. And it would be like, I guess, AI cont be that. And it would be with AI cont. And it would be like. I guess I just pick whatever AI profile. So let's do. Well, let me look at the script real quick. So it'd be AI move. It'd be like, let's go 0.5, 0.5. Inst paddle P 2001. Difficulties or point. It would just be 1 in that case. So it would run that script, then it would like. I'm just gonna example AI control empty objects. You know what I would do, actually? Okay, so what it would probably do is like this. It would be instance nearest controls. Gonna be like CMAS. So we'll be doing this, and then it would do how would I wait? How would I make it wait? Is there a wait command or something? I just had an even dumber idea. I'm gonna make a new object. It's gonna have nothing except step, and then it's gonna go definitions. We're going to create a new variable here, integer. Let's call it timer. Okay, so step. If timer. Might as well convert this one to Gmail code. Doesn't really matter. If timer is equal to 0. This timer is less than or equal to 0. Delete. Wait. Instance. Destroy. Self.id. Is it plus equal or equal plus? I think it's equal plus. It's plus equal. Okay, so it's minus equal. Yeah, I did. Okay. So... okay, let's see here. Okay, so you know what I should do as well? Let's see here. So if I do that, I create the object alarm. It'll delete itself, and then if restart is equal to 1. Okay. So we're going to create another object here. Restart is equal to 0. Start. Good. Gonna do this. Okay, do this. Okay, so if restart is equal to 1, so we're going to make a timer object. If the timer is less than or equal to 0, not greater than or equal to 0, if restart is equal to 1, it'll create a new instance, or rather it'll get how do I get current layer? Layer get ID. Or no, that's not it. Oh, is it just a layer variable? Instance variables. Instance variables. That's not it. Instance variables. That's not it. Is this one? Yes. Oh, layer. Perfect. Alarm? What's this alarm one? Okay, layer is the layer ID it's currently on. Excellent. It sets alarms. Got it. So it would be self.layer instance create depth self.x self.y. Oh, this should be layer. Okay, so oh, whoops, that explains it. Layer obj alarm. Good. And that's going to be, let's going to call it next. Okay, so with, hopefully I don't start dropping frames. With next, let's make okay, you know what I should probably do? I should probably make a script for this. Script, let's call this, script. Oh. There we go. Set alarm. And we're going to go for timer restart. And I think that's it. Well, I can do maybe later. So if it's going to do this, it's just going to run the script itself. Okay, I can close this for the time being at least. So function set alarm, timer restart layer. So since create, I don't think it really matters. It's going to be like 0, 0. 0, comma 0. All right, instance. Layer 0, 0 layer obj alarm var temp go with temp. Okay, so then we're going to do there we go. Turning this to script. There. So now it'll create an alarm. Return temp. So when I run this, it'll create the alarm I want with all the values I need. There we go. Alright, so all that'll do is that'll just... Basically, it's only good if I constantly pull the data out of the timer. Or rather, all I'm doing is checking to see if the timer exists. So I'm not sure if this is actually the most useful thing. But now I did create a self-replicating timer thing, so you know, that works. I've created a self-replicating alarm. I don't know if it works. I don't know if this will work. I could make an AI controller object. Like, that would be easier. Just whenever there's AI, it just creates an AI controller object which just handles all the timers and stuff. Like, all this does now is it just... Okay, let's do this. So we're gonna do Y. Let's do Y is equal to that. I can nest this if I wanted to. Now the problem is, like, any extra code I run here will not run on additional runs of the alarm. So it's not really that useful. Could I do anything else with this? I don't know. I really don't know what else I could do with this. Like, this is going to take a while to come together properly, mostly because of this timing stuff. There's got to be a better way to do this. There has to be. Like, the easiest way to do this would just be, like, on step. It just goes, is there a timer? Or is there... Did the timer go off? No? Or rather, easiest way to do this would be just, like... Yeah, I guess it would be just this, wouldn't it? It would just be a step. It would just be a step. So it'd be like, AI cont is AI cont is equal to... Okay, so it would be like... I can move into the master. So why not? So I would do this, for example, just on the create event. It would create this thing initially, and then I could just, like... I guess I don't even need this, because I can't... Yeah, there's not really a reason to have that. It's there just in case, but it's not actually that useful. And then, like, on the step event here, which is actually quite full, all things considered, I would just slot in somebody somewhere else. The game menu options, sub-menu options. Yeah, like down here I would just slot in like if AI cont actually, I guess it would be like right there. If AI cont dot timer equals 0, there is less than or equal to 0. Okay, so I'm going to change the script for this a little bit. Because instead of being restart, it's going to be let's go auto destruct. This is going to be that, so it's going to be AyotoStruct. Defaults at 1. Get the start at 0. There we go. So now instead it'll automatically destruct. It's basically the exact same thing. It's literally the exact same thing. Set alarm. Should have updated. Yes, it did. Okay. So anyway, that should do it. So that'll do that. Instance destroy AI cont, and then let's just copy this over. There we go. Now, just make sure things don't break. I'm going to disable that for the time being. And this one. Just in case it breaks everything. Hopefully it won't. In which nothing should be broken now anyway, because nothing's here to do anything with. Yes, look at that predictive AI. It can predict everything. It can play just like a real human. This might be too easy. Alright, it's fine. Anyway, that's where I'm going to leave that. So, let's write my patch notes for now. Stage everything. Alright, commit message. Created AI scripts. AI can predict. Added AI option to settings. Created alarm and script set alarm. Those are really the two big ones, or the big ones. I created the AI script, added AI option to settings, created object alarm, and script set alarm. Those are the big ones. Commit that. Excellent. All right. Very good. That is where I'm going to leave that for today. So next time is going to be dealing with reaction. Probably dealing with this one first, though, because the reaction one is going to be funky. I have a feeling I'm probably going to have to do it in this order, where I do the actual control first, and then I'll be able to hook the reaction time into that. And then, of course, once everything's done, this will literally be nothing. Like, this part will be nothing. It'll just be, like, generating a suite of profiles and just throwing them in there. And adding, like, little bits and pieces to just, like, draw the AI profile and add it to whatever you're doing. Anyway, that's where we're going to leave that. As always, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out this little bit of game dev work with me. I'll be back tomorrow with Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, with more Demon Mythic Path. You have been listening, as always, to the StreamBeats Lo-Fi playlist. Enjoy the rest of your day, night, evening, what have you. I know I'm going to try and stay cool because, God, it's hot out. Well, not as hot anymore because it's currently raining. Like, what's the temperature? Still, like, 90 out, like it says. I don't know if I trust that entirely, but who knows. Anyway, that's that. Enjoy the rest of your day, night, evening, what have you, and see you next time.